Around the hooligan world we go. The humble narrator Diablo. Diablo TV, like and subscribe, do things you're supposed to do. And we going on with the Legends of Football Hooliganism series, hosted and narrated by none other than your humble narrator, BOY DIABLO, coming at you live, Miami. And I'm gonna bring it to a true hero in Plymouth. A true hero among Plymouth Argyle supporters. A true hero in my view, and he's a humble guy. He don't maybe want these accolades, but I'm gonna bestow them. Anyway, none other than Sheridan Davey. Yeah, Sheridan Davey. Universally respected in the street, in the football community, among hooligans, among the football club. I seen footage of him where they're showing him in the stands, you know. Legend. Proper legend. Besides the street stuff and the hooligan stuff, and no, it's connected. Boxer. Yeah, pro boxer. Unlicensed boxing, amateur boxing, but boxer. He's 6'6". I said in another video I was characterizing him with Steph and Sean, who were both 6'5", and he's 6'6". He's even taller. Accomplished boxer. Scott, his son, is training him. He's a boxing trainer. Look out for his son, Scott Davey. And then nothing to do with football, nothing to do with, let's say, hooliganism. His son, he's just a boxer. But so Sheridan, he went around England, London, unlicensed boxer, on his trunks, Central Element, TCE on tour. So he's EFFORD Boot Boys as well. And him and Ad are his tight friends. And Sheridan I got to know pretty well, and I love the guy, and I regard him as a friend. He's a serious guy, and he's got a lot of a burden on his shoulders, let's say, that life is thrown at him, and he's a solid guy, strong guy, doing the right things for his family. So ultimate maximum respect to Sheridan Davey. And we started out in a bit of a funny situation because I made a video talking about the Exeter fight, you know, at the King Billy that these guys got stitched up for, and some of them ran, you know, and you know, forget about the ones that ran. The Sinister Six, the Solid Six, the Steadfast Six, who stood and had it with the Exeter mob. So Sheridan Davey, you see the footage and stuff, he's the tallest one, and he's boxer, understand? So he wrecked loads of them, but you know, took a lot of damage, pint glasses, fighting a whole mob of, I don't know, 50 lads, I don't know how many lads it led. But these guys are about 6 boys, and they took some damage, but they didn't back down, did they? You feel me? They stood and had it and everything like that. So Sheridan Davey, I made a video talking about that occasion, but I had heard about it differently, and it was presented to me a bit differently, and then the way I read it in the article that I read, whatever. So basically, he took exception to my depiction of it as being so glorious for the TCE and everything, right? Because I'm embellishing as well. I'm turning history. It's what you do with history. If you just told it in a straightforward, clinical manner, it would be boring. So you have to dress it up a little and use the elements of storytelling and create tragedy. It might be above somebody's, you know, operating software. Don't worry, leave it to me. So basically, me and Sheridan were at odds. Well, let's say we bump heads because he's like, "Who's this guy saying all this stuff?" kind of deal, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And then people said, "No," and introduce us. And then on our own, we started talking. He started telling me the history more. He's like, "Listen, Diablo," he says, I see what you think and what you heard. He's like, boom, and he showed me all the stuff. You know, he showed me all the legal stuff and stuff, videos for them. And so, me piecing also that together, he gave me the straight up, you know, legal evidence of the story, videos of them talking. And we got to know each other real well, and then we hang out a lot. We can't hang out as much because he has family and he's very occupied, but I love the guy. I want to spend more time with him. I'd love to bring him here. I'd love to have him involved with me with some of this boxing stuff I'm doing and everything. So, going back into Sheridan, he's also a DJ, a brilliant DJ. So he's a fighter and a musician and an artist like me, you know? And the music he plays, he's casuals. He's as casuals as they come. EFFORD Boot Boys, you think of the Dr. Martens. EFFORD Boot Boys, where he DJs, he got the flag behind EFFORD Boot Boys. And it's got trainers. It's got Adidas trainers. That's a modern interpretation of boot boys. People don't wear Dr. Martens anymore. You know what I mean? I brought mine to that. It was a reggae event. He's spinning all kinds of stuff. He's spinning his Stone Roses to the Oasis to the to the ska, to the specials, you know what I mean? He knows all that. And me and Adder is dancing, we listen to the same music. You know what I mean? I had a Pringle jumper, didn't I? And I had a Dr. Martens. You know what I mean? And they're wearing trainers, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Skinheads, boot boys, casuals, it's all the same thing, isn't it? So, Sheridan Davey, I can't say nothing about the man, but one thing I would say is from the opposition. I know Plymouth boys, my man Jippo Ryan, you know, Ryan from Plymouth, EFFORD. He's Stonehouse, but he hangs out in EFFORD. And basically he knows, he's met Exeter and stuff like that. He's heard them talking. And they're saying, nah, I heard them, they're saying, nah, because Plymouth is top boy. You know, he's blah, blah, blah. They were like basically slagging the rest of them, but they're saying, no, they're top boy. That guy's tough, blah, 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 blah. So the way they looked at it, that Sheridan Davey's the top boy of the TCE. And our kind of gangs in South Florida has to do with fighting. You know, it wasn't based on gunplay. I can't speak of modern gangs in South Florida, but our gangs was about fighting. And sometimes weapons would get involved, but it was about big gang fights. Hundreds of people coming together and fighting, and some, yeah, weapons too. But gangs in South Florida in the 80s and 90s was about fighting and big dudes who could fight on steroids, who knew how to kickbox and everything like that, and could beat up bouncers, and you'd have to lead the charge from the fighting. That's how I got to where I got to, even if I was smaller. You feel me? Any of the legends who are from South Florida all got to it through doing a lot of fighting at the front line, not hanging out and telling other people what to do. It don't work like that in our type of gangs. So with that being said, poses the question, who's the top boy? You know, these gangs, they're not as, some of them are more organized. I can tell you that the TCE, it's unfortunate because of a lack of organization and a lack of leadership, let's say, and it has to do with that old issue that Plymouth has suffered from, which is this division of all the hoods. You know, if there ever would have arose one complete leader, but these guys don't want to have a complete leader, you know. But I would say this, in the annals of the entire football hooliganism, leave you with this: Sheridan Davey. Who's better fighter than him? Who's tougher fighter? 6'5", boxer, traveled around with Central Element, London, everywhere, football hooligan fights. He got the same Perry haircut, still wears a clobber, still turns up in matches, raising the second generation to do what? Not be into football hooliganism and be into drugs and alcohol, but rather to focus on boxing. So he's a great father, he's a great man. God bless you and your family, brother. I love you, and I hope to bring one day Sheridan and Scott and his daughter and his entire family here to Miami, because we could use somebody with your expertise in the British style of boxing and your height. Not too many people is going to be able to simulate you. I could bring you to a number of gyms that would be glad to use you. Cheers, Sheridan Davey, Central Element, EBB, EFFORD, both boys. TCE, Central Element on tour. We are Central Element, WACE.